Susan is in Los Angeles. Hi, Susan. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm excited to talk to you.
You too. What's up?
Well, so I have sort of an unusual situation. My fiance and I are about to get married in October.
Congratulations.
And we're in baby step. Thank you. We're in baby step 3 individually, both of us. And so about a month ago, I went on a game show, and I won a car and a bunch of other things.
Way to go.
And thank you. It was kind of crazy.
Can you talk about which one? Is it okay?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because of what I'm going to tell you next, which is a month later, a few weeks ago, my fiance went on to the same game show.
Oh.
And won a car as well.
Oh, my gosh.
It's insane, right?
Absolutely.
Well, it got me out of my lease, which was fantastic, and got us, out of debt, which was awesome. So I currently have my car, and after his show airs, he will be able to get his. But my question was, we're looking to pay for our wedding. Obviously, we're going to cash flow it, and I wanted to know, should we keep the car? Should we sell them both? Sell one of them? What would you recommend?
Have you gotten advice on the tax hit yet?
Well, I have, yes.
Because it's pretty substantial on game show stuff in California.
Yeah. So basically, we had to pay sales tax for the items, which is very minimal. And then it will count as income on our next year's tax return for sure.
Isn't there a special tax in addition to the regular income tax?
Not that I've been told. They just said it would just count as income tax.
Okay, I want you to go back and double check that. I'm not a tax expert, but if it's not there, it used to be. That California dinged you, and even the IRS at one point had a special extra ding for game show stuff. Okay. They just took an extra pound of flesh. And nice. So you need to be prepared for that, number one.
It's expensive to win things.
I'm sorry?
It's expensive to win things.
Yeah. I mean, you got to come up with cash, and so you end up selling some of the stuff to keep the other stuff, so to speak. So what's the car worth?
So the first one we won was a Fiat Top, so it was worth like $19,000. Well, that was MSRP. We probably wouldn't get that for it.
Right.
And then the other one was a Mini Cooper, and that was worth around $23,000.
Yep. All right. One thing you can do, and I've had people do this, if you don't want the car, is you can talk with the dealer, and they'll make you a deal on it right on the spot.
Yeah, we actually tried that, but we weren't allowed to do that. So.
Okay. All right. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, depending on the game show and what the arrangement is with the manufacturer and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. All right, so you got the car titled, and you got to turn around and resell it. You're going to lose money on it. That's part of the process. Neither one of these are super expensive cars. What are you? Do you have money saved for your wedding?
Not a lot. We're working on, like I said, baby step 3.
Well, what's not a lot? How much?
Have, maybe like $3,000.
Okay, and how are you going to pay for the wedding, and how much is it?
Well, we're working on that, but we're just going to, what we could save and up until now, getting deposits on places and things like that right now. But
what would you? What is your income, and what is his income?
I would guess my income is about 47, and his is about 40.
Okay, and so what would be your ideal wedding budget?
Yeah, maybe from what we've looked at, well, my ideal budget would be about $5,000, but I would say maybe 10 is more realistic, 10 or 10. Yeah, okay. Probably.
So would you rather have a $10,000 or a $15,000 wedding or one of these cars? I mean, because you just have that, you have that option of selling it and turning it into a wedding fund and driving a $4,000 car.
Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts on buying or having a used car? My parents sort of say if you have the new car, then you have the warranty and you don't have to worry about fixing it, and so it's less cost in that way.
Well, they all break, and used cars don't break enough to offset the difference in cost.
Okay.
You cannot financially justify owning a newer car and a better car ever. You can just financially justify taking the hit.
Sure.
You make enough money to justify owning these cars. The only question is, you don't have any cash. Would you rather have a wedding or have one of these cars? And that's just a question you don't have to answer me today, but it is kind of that simple. If you dump one of these cars, you get a decent, $15,000 wedding, and you save up with this $85,000 income, and you're debt free towards moving up in car later. You can move up in car later. You can't move up in wedding later.
That is a great point.
So, I'm not suggesting you spend $50,000 on the wedding, but I might be tempted to trade one of these cars I won and I didn't know was coming towards, some miscellaneous bills, a honeymoon, some wedding bills, making sure I got the cash set aside for whatever taxation is involved and all that kind of stuff. And if I'm in your shoes, I might be willing to make that trade because it's kind of found money. I mean, it's like, woohoo, the little cheer you gave when you won the thing. So you might pick one of these or the other that you think, okay, 3 years from now, do I want to be driving this car? It was a Fiat and a Mini Cooper, if I remember right. Do I want to be driving those two cars 5 years from now, or did we just land in them because we landed in them? And it might be that you'd rather, he might rather have a pickup or something. I don't know. I'm just making this up, and it might not be true in Los Angeles, but anyway, might be. But so, you got to decide and just look at it that way. And I'm probably going to move that way if it's me, but that doesn't mean that it's necessarily the smart thing to do. Nothing on the page here is in the dumb column, so it's just a matter of preference.